Joshua, because the Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki has written about what will soon be proposed legislation to revise the current law to also require the demonstrators take responsibility. And the judgment I'm referring to of 2019 by Justice Makau also says that a declaration is hereby issued to the effect that the petitioner and non-demonstrators or third parties enjoy equal rights and freedoms during demonstrations, since their rights and fundamental freedoms are not suspended during such times. And therefore, they must also ensure that there's consent from the persons that will be affected by demonstrations. If this is to become law, but also because it's a judgment, it's already law, how then can Azimio go ahead to comply with it to ensure that whatever protest they are holding does not adversely affect the businesses of people without their consent?
Yeah, Sam, it's unfortunate that last week's demonstration resulted to loss of lives. We lost a student at the Maseno University. We lost a mechanic at the toy market, and two others. Police officers and ordinary citizens were also injured. That is just to give an assessment that that is not what should be a result of a demonstration. A demonstration should be free of death, should be free of violence or injuries, and even economic disruptions of people who are going on about their lives. And we saw what was happening in South Africa. I mean, their strategy of use of songs and dances along the streets of major cities in South Africa. But when we come back to our country, every proposal that is made, by a stakeholder that is going to affect, how things are done, especially those ones that have been provided for by the Constitution, should be subjected to public participation. So, in fact, people who've made certain proposals should not fall trap where they think they can just make proposals and then they just do that. And of course, we have Parliament as our first means of public participation, because those are our representatives to interrogate these matters, whether it serves Kenyans, is it to the fidelity of the Constitution or not. But you ask a very important question, that how would have Azimio Umoja held a demonstration differently to even enable it to make it peaceful. I think if we stop reading politics in all this, because there's a lot of mixed presentations here about the 2022 general elections results, presidential election results, which even complicates this even further. But the issue around the high cost of living is genuine. That is a fact from the political divide. Everybody, even those ones who are supporters of the ruling party, they appreciate the fact that things are not easy. In fact, the mathematics that we have been given by our Honorable Member of Parliament, Honorable Muriu, that UNGA moved from this figure to this, let me tell you, people are not feeling that. People are not feeling that. I mean, that 190 shillings is even still luxurious to some people, let me tell you. A basic commodity such as food of UNGA. So it should be very clear that even as we notify the police in terms of doing these demonstrations, we have also to refrain from politicizing, the agenda of the protest. It should be for the common good of the country, but not for the bad of the country. So that Kenyans appreciate that even if we are practicing what is provided for in the Constitution, it is something that is adding value to our democracy and not eroding by having disruptions. Because we saw the Deputy President say, but we don't know where those statistics came from, because there was no attribution of any sort through statistics, that we lost 2 billion on Monday the 20th as a result of the demonstration. You see, that is a hype that makes people just believe that probably look at this magnitude. I think it's also synonymous to the loss of the 2 billion per day of corruption at some point during the last regime. So I think we are being treated.
So you're not confident with the figure?
I'm not confident with those figures, because where is it? Who did those statistics? Which government agency?
Joshua, there's something you've said there.